The sun blazes down upon the Egyptian desert, casting long shadows over the team of archaeologists as they trek toward the Valley of the Kings. Dr. Elizabeth Grant, a brilliant and driven lead archaeologist, surveys the endless expanse of sand. Her team, a mix of seasoned experts and eager newcomers, works tirelessly to uncover the long-forgotten treasures of Egypt's ancient rulers. This expedition has been years in the making, a quest to finally unlock the mysteries surrounding King Tutankhamun's tomb. Among them is Dr. Mark Fisher, a seasoned archaeologist with a mysterious past, and Dr. Olivia Ramirez, an eager young archaeologist with a sharp eye for detail. The group is focused on a seemingly routine task, cataloging artifacts and mapping out sections of the tomb. But deep within the walls of a long-forgotten chamber, hidden beneath centuries of dust, an unexpected discovery shakes the foundation of their mission. Stay with me as we break it all down. But first, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our deep dives into world events. Let's get started. The mysterious map. Dr. Fisher, while examining a narrow, concealed alcove, uncovers a weathered scroll. It is small, rolled up tightly, and bound with a fraying golden thread. The ancient parchment bears symbols not seen in any recorded texts. As the team gathers around, Dr. Grant carefully unrolls the map, revealing a diagram that shows the hidden layout beneath the tomb of King Tut. The map is more detailed than any previous archaeological records, showing a vast labyrinth of tunnels, chambers, and hidden rooms, many of which are completely unknown. The discovery sends waves of excitement through the group. This could be the breakthrough they've been searching for. But something about the map feels different. It is far too precise, almost too perfect. And it's not marked in the usual hieroglyphic style seen in most tombs. There are peculiar symbols on the map, symbols that no one can immediately interpret. As the team debates its significance, tensions begin to surface. Dr. Ramirez, with her sharp mind, is the first to suggest that the map may have been intentionally hidden by those who wanted to keep this secret buried forever. She wonders if the map's discovery was part of a grand design to lead someone to it. Could they be opening the door to something far more dangerous than they realize? Dr. Fisher, however, believes the map is a genuine find, something that's simply never been seen before. His conviction convinces Dr. Grant to allow the team to pursue the clues, but with caution. Yet, as the sun sets over the desert, the team can't shake the feeling that this map was never meant to be discovered. What truths, what secrets are they about to unravel? And what price will they have to pay for this knowledge? The tension between excitement and unease fills the air. Little do they know, their discovery has already set off a chain of events that will lead them deep into a conspiracy tied to the fate of Egypt itself. One that may cost them more than they ever expected. A secret pact of the Pharaoh. As Dr. Grant and her team work tirelessly to decipher the mysterious map, a pattern begins to emerge that suggests the existence of something far greater beneath the tomb of King Tutankhamun. The symbols on the map, after intense study, seem to correspond to markings found within the pharaoh's burial chamber. Symbols that are eerily unfamiliar and suggest an ancient ritual of profound significance. Their meaning, however, remains elusive, pushing the team deeper into a maze of secrets hidden for millennia. One evening, as the team gathers around a flickering campfire near the tomb entrance, Dr. Fisher uncovers a fragment of an ancient papyrus. The writing is old, but legible. A cryptic passage that speaks of a secret pact forged by King Tut himself. The text reveals that, shortly before his death, Tutankhamun sought to protect a mystical artifact, one with unimaginable power, and he entrusted it to a covert order of priests known only as the Guardians of the Sun's Legacy. These priests, sworn to secrecy, hid this powerful artifact deep beneath his tomb, in a chamber known only to a few, a place where no outsider was ever meant to tread. Dr. Grant, her curiosity piqued, pushes the team to investigate further. They begin to believe that the treasure they seek is not gold or jewels, but something far more dangerous. An object with the potential to alter the very fabric of history. As they delve deeper into the tunnels beneath the tomb, they find evidence that suggests Tut's final act was not merely to be buried with riches, but to seal away a force powerful enough to protect Egypt from those who might misuse it. The team's obsession grows as they uncover more pieces of the puzzle. Strange hieroglyphics, previously overlooked, begin to make sense in light of the new findings. The map, once thought to be a mere guide to hidden chambers, now appears to be a detailed map of a secret stronghold, designed to protect the artifact from falling into the wrong hands. But the true revelation comes when they discover a hidden room beneath the burial chamber. Sealed for centuries, it contains not only the artifact, but a set of ancient scrolls that detail the pact between Tut and the Guardians. It is here that they learn the full extent of the pact. King Tut, fearing that the powers within the artifact could be used for tyranny, made a vow with the Guardians that, upon his death, no one would ever be able to access the artifact unless they passed a series of trials designed to test their worth. The artifact's power, it seems, is not just material. It is spiritual, its effects tied to the very lifeblood of Egypt itself. Should it be claimed by someone unworthy, the consequences would be catastrophic, bringing ruin upon all who dare to seek it. But there's one more twist in the story. The scrolls contain a chilling message. The worthy shall enter, but the unworthy shall awaken the curse. A powerful curse, believed to have been placed on the tomb by Tut's high priests, lies in wait. And it is said that once the artifact is disturbed, the curse will be unleashed, sending a wave of destruction far beyond Egypt's borders. Now, the team faces a critical decision. Should they continue their search for this mysterious artifact, or should they heed the warnings of the ancient texts and leave the tomb undisturbed? With every clue they uncover, the stakes grow higher, and the true cost of their ambition becomes more apparent. What began as a search for treasure is now a race against time to prevent the unleashing of an ancient power capable of changing the world forever. The Betrayal. Within, the deeper the team delves into the tomb's mysteries, the more they begin to unravel a dark web of intrigue and mistrust. As they make their way through the vast network of chambers and tunnels beneath King Tutankhamun's tomb, Dr. Olivia Ramirez, the team's youngest and most eager archaeologist, begins to behave strangely. Her initial excitement over the discovery begins to turn into obsession, as she seems increasingly fixated on the artifacts, often spending long hours alone, poring over them in the dim glow of her lantern. She grows distant from the rest of the team, especially from Dr. Grant, whose leadership she's grown to resent. Unbeknownst to the others, Olivia's fixation on the map and the artifacts is driven by more than just academic curiosity. A secret from her past has slowly begun to surface, a past she has tried to bury. Olivia's estranged father, a notorious treasure hunter with questionable connections, had once been involved in a failed expedition to find the very same artifact hidden beneath Tut's tomb. He disappeared under mysterious circumstances, leaving only a trail of broken promises and unsolved mysteries. Olivia's personal obsession with proving herself worthy, both to her father's legacy and to the scientific community, begins to blur the lines between right and wrong. Late one night, as the team sleeps, Olivia slips into the central tent and steals a copy of the map, along with a journal that contains vital clues about the artifact's final resting place. She knows the stakes of the expedition, but her desperation to prove herself, and to gain the power that comes with finding the artifact, pushes her to make a dangerous decision. She decides that she will not share this crucial piece of information with the rest of the team. Instead, she will find the treasure herself and claim the glory and the power that she believes is rightfully hers. When Dr. Fisher notices Olivia's disappearance the next morning, he initially assumes it's nothing more than a personal dispute. But as the days go by and Olivia remains distant, he grows suspicious. His growing concerns turn to disbelief when he stumbles upon a hidden compartment in Olivia's tent, filled with notes that not only detail the expedition's progress, but also a map that seems to lead to a different chamber, one that the rest of the team had never seen before. Fisher confronts Olivia in a tense moment alone. Her reaction is not one of guilt, but of defiance. She admits to taking the map, revealing the truth about her father's involvement in a previous, failed expedition. Olivia explains that she doesn't just want to prove herself. She wants to take what she believes is owed to her, a treasure that could change everything. When Fisher presses her about her intentions, she becomes defensive, hinting that she might use the artifact's power to secure her own future. As their confrontation escalates, the tension between them reaches a boiling point. But Olivia isn't the only one with secrets. Dr. Fisher, whose charm and calm demeanor have made him a trusted member of the team, is not what he appears. His own motivations are far more complicated than anyone realizes. Beneath the surface of his helpful nature lies a past tied to the same mysterious order of priests that once protected the artifact. Fisher's involvement in this dark legacy is revealed when he is caught in a lie. He has known about the artifact's significance all along, but has hidden this truth from Dr. Grant and the others. The shocking revelation throws the team into chaos. Trust is shattered, and the once unified group is torn apart by suspicion. Dr. Grant, who has always prided herself on her ability to read people, is faced with the realization that her closest allies have been keeping dangerous secrets from her. She is now forced to reckon with the fact that she might not only have a traitor in her midst, but also someone who could jeopardize the entire expedition. The team is divided. Dr. Grant must now decide whether to confront Olivia and Fisher, risking the fragile unity of the group, or to continue the search for the artifact despite the growing betrayals. But with every step, the stakes get higher. And as the conflict between the team intensifies, the danger of disturbing the tomb becomes ever more real. The curse awakens. The tension among the archaeologists has reached a breaking point. Dr. Grant, still reeling from the betrayals within her own team, struggles to maintain control as their expedition ventures deeper into the heart of the tomb. The previously discovered map, now partially deciphered, seems to point to the inner sanctum of the tomb, a place so sacred and hidden that no one has dared to enter for centuries. The growing sense of unease among the team is palpable, but the lure of discovery proves irresistible. The group, despite internal turmoil, presses forward, their path lit by flickering torches as they navigate the dark, narrow passageways beneath the tomb. As they reach a chamber that appears to be the final resting place of the artifact, something ominous happens. The air grows thick with a strange heaviness, and an overwhelming sense of dread fills the room. Dr. Ramirez, who has been uneasy about the curse that supposedly haunts the tomb, stops in her tracks. Her pulse quickens, and she senses that something is wrong. It's Dr. Wells, a brilliant but enigmatic member of the team, who first triggers the trap. While examining a rare artifact in the corner of the chamber, a golden statuette of a mythical creature, he unwittingly sets off a mechanism hidden deep within the tomb. The ground shakes beneath their feet, and an eerie sound echoes through the stone walls. A sound like the wailing of ancient spirits. Before anyone can react, a heavy stone door slams shut behind them, trapping them inside the chamber. Panic spreads like wildfire, but it's the ensuing darkness that unsettles them most. The flickering light from their torches begins to falter, casting unsettling shadows on the walls. The sound of footsteps, faint at first, reverberates through the chamber, though no one is visible. Whispers in an ancient tongue begin to seep into their minds, a language no one understands, but all can hear. Dr. Grant, desperate to remain composed, tries to calm the group. "Stay focused," she orders, but her voice trembles. She knows that something far greater than physical danger is at play here, a force that has waited centuries to be unleashed. As they begin to search for a way out, Dr. Fisher uncovers an inscription on the wall, written in the same cryptic symbols they've encountered before. The message seems to suggest that the curse was not just a superstition, but a true, protective force, one meant to guard the tomb's most powerful secret. The inscription warns that anyone who disturbs the sacred resting place will awaken the spirit of the pharaoh, and that the tomb's treasures are not meant for mortal hands. The first sign of the curse's power manifests when the temperature in the chamber drops suddenly, a chilling frost settling on the walls and floor. Dr. Wells, who had dismissed the curse as mere folklore, is the first to experience its full force. As he moves toward a golden artifact, drawn by some irresistible compulsion, his body freezes in place, his breath visibly frozen in the air, as though a phantom grip has encased him. His colleagues rush to help, but it's too late. Dr. Wells's eyes turn glassy, his skin paling as though life itself is being drained from him. His voice is a hoarse whisper as he struggles to speak, but all he can manage is a cryptic warning. It's already here. Too late. Too late." The sight of their colleague's fate sends a wave of terror through the group. The curse is no longer a myth or legend. It is a living, breathing force, and they are now its prisoners. Dr. Grant, horrified but resolute, orders the team to abandon their search for the artifact and find a way to escape. But as the group begins to scramble toward the entrance, they realize that the stone door they had passed through earlier is no longer there. They are sealed in, and the curse, now fully awakened, is hunting them. Strange phenomena continue to plague the team. As they search for another exit, the walls seem to shift and close in on them, narrowing their path. Dr. Ramirez, who had always been skeptical about the curse, can no longer deny what's happening. She feels the weight of unseen eyes upon them, watching their every move. Something dark and ancient stirs beneath the tomb, and it will not rest until its guardians are fulfilled. As their situation grows more dire, the team realizes that they must solve the tomb's final puzzle if they have any hope of escaping. But the answers they seek may come at a price they are unwilling to pay. The curse is more than a mere superstition. It is a consequence, a reckoning, and their discovery has triggered a chain of events they may not be able to stop. In the face of increasing danger and supernatural forces, the archaeologists must now confront a question that has no easy answer. Can they escape the tomb alive? Or will they become another dark chapter in the ancient curse's long history? Tensions rise and secrets spill. The eerie silence of the tomb's labyrinth grows heavy as Dr. Grant and her team find themselves trapped within its cursed walls, with no clear path to escape. The curse, a force they had initially dismissed as legend, has proven all too real, and the weight of their discovery hangs over them like an insurmountable storm. The once united group now faces an even more dangerous enemy: their own unraveling sense of trust. In the midst of their struggle to survive, long-buried secrets begin to surface, further deepening the rift between the archaeologists. As the team scrambles to find a way out, Dr. Grant confronts Dr. Fisher, who has become increasingly distant and evasive since the curse was triggered. His refusal to engage in the group's search for a solution only heightens Dr. Grant's suspicions. She remembers his cryptic behavior earlier in the expedition and begins to piece together a disturbing realization. Dr. Fisher's loyalty to the team may be a facade. As the tension between them builds, Dr. Grant demands answers. Fisher, visibly nervous, admits that he has known about the curse all along. He had uncovered ancient texts years ago that referenced the tomb's true power and the consequences of disturbing it. Yet, he had kept this knowledge from the team, choosing to pursue the artifact anyway, knowing the danger but unwilling to abandon his ambition. His fixation on the artifact's power is more than just academic curiosity. Fisher believes that, if used correctly, the artifact could be the key to rewriting history, and, perhaps, securing his own place in history as a legend. Fisher's admission sends a shockwave through the group. Dr. Grant, furious at his betrayal, accuses him of endangering their lives for personal gain. Fisher tries to defend himself, but his words fall on deaf ears. The rest of the team, already on edge from the growing dangers within the tomb, begins to question his motives more thoroughly. His reputation as a respected archaeologist, built on years of trust, now seems like a carefully constructed mask for his true intentions. The strain between Dr. Grant and Dr. Fisher reaches its breaking point when Dr. Wells, whose condition has only worsened after being touched by the curse, suddenly begins to mutter incomprehensible phrases. His eyes, once a bright spark of intelligence, now appear glazed and lifeless. As his delirium deepens, Dr. Wells warns the group about a hidden agenda within their midst. "It was always the plan," he says, before his voice falters into unintelligible murmurs. The cryptic nature of his warning only fuels the growing paranoia among the team. At the same time, Dr. Ramirez, who has always been wary of the curse but trusted in the logic of their mission, begins to open up about her own personal stakes. She confesses to Dr. Grant that her involvement in the expedition was not entirely driven by academic curiosity. Her father, a notorious treasure hunter with a reputation for ruthless greed, had once sought the very same artifact hidden beneath Tut's tomb before mysteriously vanishing. Her father's disappearance has haunted her for years, and this expedition was, in part, her attempt to find answers. The guilt of following in his footsteps and the fear of making the same dangerous choices weigh heavily on her. Her confession adds another layer of complexity to the fractured group. While Dr. Grant sympathizes with Ramirez's inner turmoil, it's clear that each of them harbors personal demons, and these secrets are beginning to crack open at the worst possible time. Dr. Grant is now faced with a team divided by ambition, guilt, and fear. The expedition's mission has morphed from an academic pursuit into something far darker. A desperate race to find an artifact that may not just alter history, but endanger their lives. As the group moves forward, their fears are only amplified by the increasingly hostile environment of the tomb. The walls seem to shift when they're not looking, and the oppressive darkness feels as if it's pressing in from all sides. The curse is not just a physical manifestation of the tomb's wrath. It seems to have a psychological hold over them, eroding their ability to think clearly and trust one another. Tensions grow as members of the group begin to doubt their own perceptions, unsure if the horrors they're witnessing are the result of supernatural forces or their own unraveling minds. Dr. Grant realizes that the true enemy may not be the curse alone, but the darkness growing within each of them, the secrets they've kept hidden, the ambition that has clouded their judgment, and the lies they've told themselves about what they're truly searching for. The race for the artifact has become a fight for survival, and as their fractures deepen, the team is forced to confront whether they can trust each other long enough to escape, or if the tomb will claim them all. The rival faction strikes. Just as Dr. Grant and her team begin to piece together the dark secrets of King Tutankhamun's tomb, the stakes rise exponentially with the arrival of an unexpected threat. A rival faction of treasure hunters, led by the charismatic but ruthless Damien Richter. Richter, a man known for his unyielding drive and dark past, has been trailing their every move from the moment they uncovered the first clue. He is a former associate of Dr. Grant's, one with whom she had once worked in the field before a professional falling out. Their history is complicated, marked by betrayal, rivalry, and a shared ambition to uncover Egypt's lost treasures. But unlike Dr. Grant, Richter is willing to sacrifice anything, and anyone, to claim the power of the artifact for himself. As Richter's group arrives at the tomb's entrance under the cover of night, the tension between him and Dr. Grant is immediate and palpable. They exchange cold, measured words, their shared history hanging between them like an old, unhealed wound. Richter accuses Dr. Grant of sabotaging their previous partnership, leaving him to take the fall for a failed excavation years ago. He believes she deliberately stole credit for a discovery they made together, ruining his career in the process. Now, he intends to take what he believes is rightfully his, not just the glory of discovering the artifact, but the power that lies within it. Richter's arrival is no coincidence. He has had eyes on the tomb long before Dr. Grant's team set foot in the Valley of the Kings. He knows about the hidden chamber beneath Tutankhamun's tomb, having found fragments of the same map months earlier. He spent years gathering intel, building connections with corrupt officials, and securing funding for his own expedition. But what sets Richter apart from Dr. Grant is his willingness to do whatever it takes, including betrayal, coercion, and violence, to secure the artifact and the fortune that comes with it. As the two teams cross paths, Dr. Grant's group is torn between fear and rage. Dr. Fisher, who has his own suspicions about Richter's arrival, begins to question whether his own involvement with the expedition is truly aligned with Dr. Grant's goals. His previous attempts to downplay the risks of disturbing the tomb's secrets now seem like a calculated maneuver to keep the group divided and weak. Fisher, who once seemed to be an ally, now appears to be a potential threat, caught between his allegiance to Dr. Grant and his hidden ties to Richter's operation. The rivalry between the two factions escalates as tensions between the groups boil over. Richter offers Dr. Grant a tempting proposition. Join forces, and together they can unlock the tomb's ultimate secrets, but only if she agrees to his terms. Richter promises wealth, power, and a share of the artifacts, but Dr. Grant refuses. She knows Richter's true motives and recognizes the dangerous path they are on. His lust for power, combined with his cold pragmatism, makes him a formidable adversary. With the discovery of the map and the knowledge of the curse, The race for the artifact becomes a deadly competition. Richter's faction is well equipped, bringing with them weapons, explosives, and an army of hired mercenaries. As the rival group forces their way into the tomb's heart, they begin to overpower Dr. Grant's team, taking control of key areas and forcing them to confront the brutal reality that their expedition may now be a fight for survival. However, Richter's arrogance soon becomes his undoing. As the two teams clash in the ancient chambers of the tomb, it becomes clear that the artifact is not just a treasure. It is something more powerful and far more dangerous than either of them could have anticipated. The deeper Richter's team goes into the tomb, the more they disturb its ancient protections. Traps long thought to be legend begin to trigger, and the walls of the tomb groan as if waking from a long slumber. Dr. Grant and her team must now find a way to survive not only the curse, but the escalating threat of Richter's faction, whose recklessness and greed may very well lead to their destruction. With no clear path to escape, the two groups must now face the terrifying possibility that neither will walk away from the tomb, and that the artifact they seek could be the very thing that brings about their demise. The rivalry between Dr. Grant and Richter takes a darker turn when Richter reveals that he has a secret weapon, a corrupt official who holds the key to the tomb's deepest chambers, and who has agreed to betray Dr. Grant for a cut of the spoils. The betrayal cuts deep, and Dr. Grant is forced to confront the reality that Richter's faction is willing to sacrifice everything, including innocent lives, to claim the artifact. With time running out and their position growing more precarious by the minute, Dr. Grant must make a desperate decision: face Richter head-on, or outwit him before he destroys everything they've worked for. The true nature of the treasure. As Dr. Grant and her team descend deeper into the heart of King Tutankhamun's tomb, the sense of dread that has haunted them since the moment they disturbed the sacred ground becomes palpable. The oppressive air grows thicker, colder. The deeper they go, the more it becomes clear that the treasure they seek is not simply gold, jewels, or relics of an ancient past. It is something far more significant, a force of unimaginable power hidden away for a reason long buried in history. The map that led them to this point, once thought to be a mere guide to riches, now reveals itself as something far more complex, a roadmap to a hidden chamber beneath Tut's tomb. It's not just a final resting place, but a stronghold designed to protect an artifact that was meant to be kept out of the hands of all who might dare disturb it. The deeper they venture into the labyrinth, the more the symbols they've uncovered throughout the tomb's halls begin to align, revealing a hidden language, one that speaks not of treasures, but of a key to an ancient power. As they reach the final chamber, an overwhelming sense of awe and terror overtakes the group. The room is unlike any they've encountered before. It is not just a burial site, but a temple, a space designed for something far more sacred than a pharaoh's final rest. Massive statues of gods, their stone eyes seemingly watching over the group, line the walls. The air crackles with energy, an invisible force that makes the hairs on their arms stand on end. At the center of the chamber is a raised platform, upon which rests a stone sarcophagus. Not the kind that would contain a body, but one designed to protect something far more precious. Dr. Grant steps forward, drawn to the platform as if by some magnetic force. The symbols on the sarcophagus match those of the map, confirming their fears. The treasure they are searching for is not a material possession, but a powerful artifact, one with the ability to reshape history. It is said to be the key to an ancient civilization's greatest secret, the ability to control life itself. The artifact is not just a relic of the past, but a source of unimaginable power that could bend time and fate. The Pharaohs, and especially Tutankhamun, were its protectors, and it was their sacred duty to keep it hidden from the world. A chilling realization grips the team. This artifact is not meant for anyone, and its power is too dangerous to be wielded by mortal hands. As Dr. Fisher touches the sarcophagus, his fingers tremble, not out of fear, but with the allure of its power. He has already made up his mind. The artifact is his. His growing obsession with the potential to rewrite history, to bend time and fate, blinds him to the dangers that the rest of the group now recognizes. His eyes light up with a mix of reverence and greed, and he begins to whisper to himself, "This is why I came. This is why we were all chosen." But Dr. Grant steps forward and holds up her hand, stopping him. "No," she says, her voice trembling with urgency. "This is not just treasure. It's power. And it's far beyond anything we should be tampering with." She explains that the artifact was created as a form of protection, an object designed not to be used, but to be safeguarded. The ancient priests who protected it were not just guardians of gold, but of something far more dangerous. They believed that the artifact's power, if unleashed, could destroy not just Egypt, but the world itself. The artifact has the ability to alter the course of history, but its true purpose was to be sealed away forever, so that no one could manipulate time or life. The group is now at a crossroads. They are faced with an impossible choice: take the artifact and risk unleashing its terrible power, or leave it sealed, ensuring that the world will never know the truth of its existence. Dr. Fisher, however, is no longer listening. His desire to control the artifact's power has consumed him, and he refuses to believe that something so profound and life-altering should remain buried. His vision of immortality, of rewriting history, becomes an obsession that clouds his judgment. His eyes now gleam with a dangerous fervor as he begins to unlock the sarcophagus, intent on taking what he believes is rightfully his. But the tomb itself seems to respond to this betrayal. The air grows colder, and the walls rumble as if waking from a deep slumber. The ancient magic of the tomb begins to stir, and the curse that had remained dormant for centuries is now fully awakened. The ground shakes violently, and the flickering torchlight reveals an inscription on the sarcophagus that had not been visible before. It reads, "He who dares to claim what is not theirs shall be consumed by the flames of time." The warnings are clear, but Dr. Fisher is undeterred. As he opens the sarcophagus, a blinding light erupts from within, filling the chamber with an otherworldly glow. The ground trembles beneath them, and the air hums with raw, untamed energy. The artifact, now revealed in all its terrifying glory, pulses with power, and a shadowy figure, a ghostly form, begins to materialize before them, an ancient guardian bound to protect the artifact. In that moment, Dr. Grant realizes that the tomb's true treasure is not the artifact itself, but the ancient curse that guards it. The guardians of the Pharaohs were not just protectors of wealth, but of the balance between life and death, time and fate. The artifact, if disturbed, would not just bring power, but destruction. The curse is not merely a warning, it is a force that will destroy anyone who attempts to claim what they are not worthy of. With the tomb now collapsing around them, the team is forced into a race against time to escape. But Dr. Fisher, still entranced by the artifact's power, refuses to leave. As the tomb shakes violently, He makes one final, desperate attempt to harness the artifact's energy, triggering a catastrophic chain of events that could shatter not only their world, but the very fabric of time itself. Love and betrayal. Amid the ruins. Amid the ruins of the tomb, where time itself seems to stand still, an unexpected romance begins to blossom between Dr. Elizabeth Grant and Dr. Mark Fisher. Initially, their bond forms out of mutual respect, as both share an unyielding passion for the ancient world and a deep commitment to the success of the expedition. But as they spend long hours together in the dim light of the tomb, poring over cryptic hieroglyphs and deciphering hidden messages, their connection grows deeper. Dr. Grant, usually reserved and focused solely on the mission, finds herself drawn to Mark's charisma and shared vision. He, in turn, is captivated by her intelligence and determination. Their shared moments of vulnerability amidst the tomb's oppressive atmosphere spark a fleeting, intense intimacy. The isolation from the outside world and the mounting pressures of their discoveries only serve to heighten the tension between them. They find solace in one another, seeking comfort in the midst of the growing dangers they face. However, the path to their relationship is far from simple. Beneath the surface, darker forces begin to stir. Mark, once the reliable and steady hand of the team, is harboring secrets that threaten to tear their bond apart. He has been in contact with a mysterious benefactor who has a vested interest in the expedition's outcome. This powerful figure, whose motives remain unclear, exerts subtle pressure on Mark to push the team toward unlocking the artifact's secrets at any cost, even if it means betraying Dr. Grant. As Dr. Grant grows closer to Mark, she becomes increasingly aware of the strain in their relationship. Her growing suspicions about his loyalty cause her to question not only his actions, but also the motivations behind their passionate connection. Mark, torn between his loyalty to Dr. Grant and the looming influence of his benefactor, struggles to conceal the truth from her. The deeper their relationship becomes, the more Mark wrestles with the burden of his secrets, and the harder it becomes to reconcile his personal desires with the darker forces at play. This emotional turmoil comes to a head during a heated argument in the tomb's inner chamber, where Dr. Grant confronts Mark about his mysterious contacts. The air is thick with tension as she demands the truth. In that moment, Mark's hesitation speaks volumes, and Dr. Grant's heart sinks as she realizes that the man she has come to trust might not be the person she thought he was. She is left questioning not just her relationship with Mark, but the very foundation of the expedition itself. As their once thriving romance begins to unravel, the ruins around them mirror their fractured bond. The tomb, which once felt like a sanctuary for their shared passion, now feels like a prison of deceit. Yet, even as love turns to betrayal, the team must continue their perilous journey, for the artifact and the dangers it holds lie just within reach. The stakes have never been higher, and the growing distrust between Elizabeth and Mark threatens to destroy everything they've worked for. As they race against time, neither of them can ignore the truth. In the world of ancient secrets and power, no one can be trusted completely, and love may be the ultimate betrayal of all. A desperate race against time. The atmosphere in the tomb grows suffocating, a silent pressure pressing down on the team as they race toward what they believe to be the final threshold of their discovery. Every step they take into the heart of King Tutankhamun's burial chamber feels like a step closer to unleashing something far greater and far darker than they ever anticipated. The rival faction, led by the ruthless Damien Richter, is closing in on them, and the stakes have never been higher. The team is split. Dr. Elizabeth Grant, consumed by the need to protect the artifact, pushes forward, desperate to decipher the last cryptic clues left behind by ancient priests. With every passing moment, she can feel the weight of the curse growing heavier. Whispers of the tomb's legend, tales of ancient powers and dangerous traps, echo in her mind, but she brushes them aside. She knows that the artifact must not fall into the wrong hands, but the more she delves into the puzzle, the more it seems like the tomb itself is fighting back, as if it were alive, a sentient force determined to guard its secrets at any cost. Mark Fisher, now visibly torn and haunted by his earlier betrayal, is no longer the same man who had once been her ally. His mind is clouded with conflicting loyalties and the knowledge of the benefactor's influence over him. He's no longer certain whether he is truly working toward the right cause, or if he is simply a pawn in a much larger game. As he scans the ancient symbols, his heart races, knowing that the answers they seek could either elevate them to greatness or doom them all. Time is slipping away, and Richter's faction is not far behind. Each passing hour increases the risk that the rival treasure hunters will seize the artifact for their own twisted ambitions. Dr. Olivia Ramirez, having been revealed as a traitor in the earlier events, has already made her move, seeking the artifact for herself. She is now working in secret with Richter's team, feeding them crucial information. Her betrayal has made her unpredictable and dangerous, a wild card that only heightens the tension within the tomb. No one knows exactly where her loyalties lie, and with every step forward, it feels as if she could strike at any moment, using the team's fractured trust against them. The moment of truth arrives when the group finally unlocks the final chamber, a sprawling underground vault concealed beneath a massive stone door that had been sealed for millennia. But as they enter, it becomes evident that this vault is not just a tomb. It is a labyrinth of traps designed to protect something more than just riches. The air grows cold, and the ancient walls seem to hum with an otherworldly energy, as if the very room itself is alive, aware of their presence. Dr. Grant's mind races, her thoughts fragmented as she analyzes the symbols surrounding the chamber. But as she moves closer to the artifact, she realizes the truth too late. The tomb's final trap has been triggered. The ground shakes beneath their feet, and the walls begin to close in, the stone slabs shifting like the jaws of some great beast. It is a race against time now. Escape, or be buried in the ancient darkness forever. Meanwhile, Richter's team has breached the tomb's outer perimeter, and their footsteps can be heard echoing through the corridors. They are close, and their intentions are clear. They plan to claim the artifact, no matter the cost. In a final desperate attempt to solve the puzzle and prevent the release of unimaginable power, Dr. Grant orders the team to work together, knowing that their survival depends on it. But in their haste, they make a critical error. As Dr. Fisher desperately scrambles to deactivate the trap, his hand slips, triggering the final mechanism that seals the tomb for good. The walls begin to move faster now, and there is no time to undo the damage. As the team scrambles for an exit, they realize that the artifact is not the only thing they've unleashed. Their lives are now bound to the tomb's final, deadly puzzle. The tomb itself has become a death trap, and Richter's faction is closing in from behind. In the face of betrayal, time, and an ancient curse, the team must make one last desperate push toward escape. But as the walls close in and the tomb's crushing force seems inevitable, Dr. Grant is faced with an impossible decision: to abandon the artifact or risk it all to secure its power, and unlock a future that may bring them all to ruin. There is no room for hesitation, only a final, fleeting moment to choose between life and death. The shocking finale. The tomb shakes violently, the ancient stone walls groaning as if they too are struggling to contain the horror that is about to be unleashed. Dr. Elizabeth Grant stands at the center of the chaos, heart pounding, every sense on edge as the chamber around her seems to crumble into oblivion. The artifact, at long last, within reach, glows ominously from its pedestal, an unearthly light flickering across the walls, casting eerie shadows. The discovery that could alter the world is within her grasp, but so too is the unshackling of a power that should never have been unearthed. Behind her, Dr. Mark Fisher is frozen in place, his face a mixture of guilt, regret, and fear. In the final moments before the trap sealed them inside, his carefully concealed allegiance to Damien Richter has been exposed. It's too late for him to hide it now. The truth is laid bare. Mark has been working with Richter all along, a double agent whose loyalties were never to the team. His cryptic communications with the rival faction were not only to help them find the tomb's secrets, they were to ensure that the artifact would be claimed for Richter's agenda. Dr. Grant's eyes meet his in a moment of stunned silence. The love they once shared now seems like a distant, painful memory. She stands at the precipice of making an impossible choice, one that could either save the world or bring about its destruction. Mark steps forward, his voice low, barely audible over the rumble of the collapsing tomb. "Elizabeth, you don't understand. This power, it's not meant for anyone, but it could change everything. If we control it, we can reshape the world." His words, laden with desperation, ring hollow in the air. Grant knows what he truly seeks. It's not redemption. It's not a greater good. Mark Fisher is driven by a thirst for power, for the personal glory that would come from wielding the artifact's unimaginable force. The man she thought she knew is gone, replaced by a shadowy figure whose motivations have been cloaked in deceit since the beginning. Suddenly, Richter's voice echoes through the chamber, distant yet clear. "You can't stop this, Elizabeth. We have what we need. The artifact will be ours, no matter the cost. You can either join us or perish here." Damien Richter, having infiltrated the tomb from a separate entrance with his faction, now emerges from the shadows, flanked by his men. His smug smile betrays his sense of victory, the culmination of years of rivalry and bitterness with Dr. Grant. He's not here just to claim the artifact. He's here to settle an old score. Richter's eyes gleam with a dangerous excitement, knowing that the power contained within the artifact could grant him control over more than just the future of archaeology. It could give him the kind of influence that could reshape the modern world. In that moment, as the walls close in and the ground shakes beneath their feet, Dr. Grant is faced with a heart-wrenching choice: to either destroy the artifact, sealing it away forever, or take it for herself and claim its overwhelming power. The tomb's walls are closing in fast, a deadly reminder that they have moments, if not seconds, to make a decision. Mark pleads with her, his voice frantic. "Elizabeth, don't you see? We can change everything. We can rewrite history." But she knows what he's truly saying. This is not about history. This is about control. The world could fall under the sway of this dark power. Richter knows this. Mark knows this. And now, it's clear to her. She must make the choice alone. In a stunning, painful realization, Dr. Grant makes her decision. She turns toward the artifact, her hand hovering over it. The room trembles, the force of the power contained within the ancient object vibrating through the air like a pulse. but as her fingers brush the surface of the artifact, she sees the faces of those she has lost, the faces of those who have betrayed her, and the faces of the innocent who could fall victim to the power they seek. With one final, resolute movement, Dr. Grant presses a hidden mechanism on the pedestal. The artifact begins to crumble, its glow fading into nothingness as it disintegrates into dust. The chamber is plunged into darkness. The tomb shudders violently, and with a deafening roar, the stone walls begin to collapse in on themselves. Richter's faction, realizing too late that the artifact is gone, scrambles in panic. The tomb is now a death trap, a cataclysmic end to a journey that started with ambition, but now ends in destruction. Damien Richter attempts to flee, but the tomb's collapse is merciless. Mark reaches for Elizabeth one last time, but she pulls away, the final vestiges of their relationship crumbling along with the tomb. In that last, fleeting moment, she knows that she has made the right choice, though it comes at an unthinkable cost. The tomb collapses entirely, sealing away the secrets of the past for good. Outside, the first rays of dawn break over the horizon, a symbol of both an end and a new beginning. Dr. Elizabeth Grant walks away from the ruins, knowing she has stopped the artifact's potential for destruction, but at the cost of everything she had once hoped for. The world may never know the full extent of the secrets hidden beneath King Tutankhamun's tomb, but one thing is certain: the ancient past has been buried once more, and with it, the deadly truths it harbored. The cost of knowledge is always high, and in this case, it may be too high for anyone to truly understand.